The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Good morning, afternoon, evening. My name is Ron Juckett. Welcome to the program for this 16th day of January 2025, a melancholy day here in Retro Sports Network, with the loss of Bob Uecker at the age of 90. A nice long life, and a life that was full of merriment and baseball and all things Brewers. And I mean, could you ever seen anyone that was more self-depreciating as a public figure than Bob Uecker? I haven't. So how you doing, Mike in the truck? So today we were supposed to do the Reds and the Cubs from Wrigley Field, and I had that field all dolled up and all that, and we're not doing the Reds and the Cubs today. So it turns out the Braves and the Cardinals, the two cities most associated with Bob Uecker's baseball career, are playing on a Friday in St. Louis. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to do the Milwaukee Braves and the St. Louis Cardinals in tribute to Bob Uecker, because really, when your career batting average is 187, do you really think you get a tribute game as far as that? Knowing my luck, they'd probably win. So that's the setup for you as we say goodbye to Bob Uecker and thank him for all he gave us. Let's do the two cities that he's most associated with, Milwaukee and St. Louis. And from Sportsman's Park, that is what you're about to see. As Retro Sports Network presents Major League Replay 1956. Today from Sportsman's Park in St. Louis, Missouri, it is the St. Louis Cardinals and the Milwaukee Braves. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. And on this gorgeous day in St. Louis, both teams are 2-0. It will be Warren Spahn for the Braves and Tom Polhosky for the Cardinals. And there's no picture of Billy Bruton. How are you? Uh-oh. Don't tell the people that pesky Poe is watching at lunch. Shh. All right, so here is how the Braves will line up. Bill Bruton is in center field. He'll lead off. Johnny Logan at short will bat second. Hank Aaron is in right field. He'll go third. Eddie Matthews at third will clean up. He already has 2 home runs on the year. Joe Adcock at first will bat fifth. Wes Covington in left will go sixth. Del Crandall behind the plate will bat seventh. Danny O'Connell at second will bat eighth, and Warren Spahn on the mound at 35 years old will bat ninth. And Tom Polhosky is on the mound, and he could go 120 pitches. Big Dave, how are you? Yeah, it is a sad day for baseball. The Cardinals' defense is this. Hank Sauer in left, no relation to whiskey, is a 4 and a 3 in left. Bill Verdon, who will have his best days as a player with the Pirates, is a 5 and a 5 in center, and Stan Musial a 4 and a 6 in right. The infield for St. Louis, Ken Boyer a 10 at third. Alex Grammas, who will become a coach for Sparky Anderson in short order, is a 4 and a 3 in short. Red Schoendienst, who must play for the Giants at some point this year, is a 7 and a 7 at second. And Wally the Unibrow Moon is a 6 at first. The battery, Bill Sarney behind the plate, he's a 5 and a 7. And Polhosky and his 85-mile-an-hour fastball is on the mound. Polhosky making his first start of the year of 29, 9 and 14 with a 3.59 ERA. He'll complete 7 games, 203 innings, 210 hits, 100 runs, 81 earned. He gave up 27 homers. That seems to be the thing for these pitchers from 56. They give up a lot of home runs, 45 walks, and 95 strikeouts. We said he throws a fastball at 85, ground ball pitcher, and Tom is 27. So the Braves and the Cardinals are off to flying starts. They're 2-0. Bruton at 300. The average is cut off. 8 homers and 56 RBI. So good afternoon to you all on this sad day for baseball. Polhosky starts with a base hit to left field. Sauer will cut it off, and Bruton digging for 2. The throw to Shane Dienst, and Bruton is in there with a double. No, they threw him out. So Bruton took a bridge too far, and Sauer to Shane Dienst on the putout. So how about that? So Grammas with a bad play. Guess he was an infield coach. And Sauer to Shane Dienst. So it is a single and then a 7-4. Brings up Johnny Logan at 125 with 2 RBI. 281 in real life, 15 homers and 46 RBI. So the 2 franchises that Uecker played for are here, the Braves and the Cardinals. Pitch to Logan, and that is a ground ball to Boyer at third. Ken throws across to Moon for the out. I will go through and see what I can do to find a more appropriate picture of Sportsman's Park in my reservoir of shots to see what we can do. This one, it has to be from the 30s. But we got it up in a hurry, and that's all that matters. Hank Aaron, slow start to the year, 2 for 10, hitting 200 with an RBI. Polhosky deals. Got him. So that's a strikeout, an 0-2 changeup, got him swinging. So no runs, a hit, and the runner thrown out trying to stretch a single into a double. And after half an inning, it's the Braves, nothing. Here come the Cardinals. So Warren Spahn, who did not get the opening day start, must have been Lou Burdett. And as Matt Rockwood has said yesterday, the Braves have a lot of rainouts early on. I was trying to figure out last night how to get them on. And they don't play a lot of games early on in that Wednesday, Friday, Saturday window, except for this one. Spahn 20-11 in 56, 35 starts. He finished 20 games, 3 shutouts. He had 3 of those non-existent saves, 281 in the third innings, 249 hits, 92 runs, 87 earned. 25 homers, 52 walks, and 128 strikeouts. He's 35 and throws that Bugs Bunny fastball at 82 and is a ground ball pitcher. Wally Moon leading off for St. Louis at first base. Red Shane Dienst at second, will bat second. Stan Musial at 36. In right field, he'll go third. Hank Sauer cleans up in left. Ken Boyer at third. He'll bat fifth. Ken will be a prominent member of Cardinals history. Bill Verdon in center will go sixth. Bill Sarney behind the plate will bat seventh. Alex Grammas at short batting eighth. And Polhosky on the mound will bat ninth. Spahn can go up to 140. Am I fading out here? We are struggling a bit. Here is the Milwaukee defense for you. It'll be Wes Covington in left. He's a 5 and a 4. Bruton a 7 and a 6 in center. Aaron a 9 and a 9 in right. At the ripe age of 22 years old. Let me get rid of something here. The infield for Milwaukee, Eddie Matthews at 10 at third. Johnny Logan a 7 and a 7, and that's a double play rating at short. Danny O'Connell a 7 and a 6 at second, and Joe Adcock a 6 at first. Del Crandall is a 10 behind the plate with an 8 arm. Well, the Braves are certainly the better team on paper, and Warren Spahn is an 8 with a 983 fielding percentage. Wally Moon, 250 on the young year, 2 for 8 with 2 RBI and 4 runs scored. In real life, 298, 11 triples, 16 homers, and 68 RBI. What was the reason why I chose 56? Well, this is year 7 of the Retro Sports Network baseball replay. And so my wheelhouse is 77 to 93. And so we've done 78, 82, 88, 85, and 88. And so the other years, I wanted to do something that I wasn't quite as familiar with, or something that wasn't in those years. So this is the third out of the wheelhouse replay, because I did 78 and 82 in pretty short order, or 82 and 78. So I've done 49, and I did 2001. And so I don't know how much longer we'll be doing this for. My health allows, and all that stuff. But I wanted to make sure that every other year I did something that was as different to me as it may be for those watching. So that's why I chose 56. It's Mickey Mantle's Triple Crown year. The Yankees are, as someone said the other day, they are U.S. Steel. And there's a good National League race. The Dodgers, the Brewers, the Dodgers, I'm sorry, Matt, the Braves and the Reds all finished within 2 games of each other in the National League. The NL is one giant race. And so one of the criteria of picking those seasons is I need to have a compelling story to do. And between the Yankees being the Yankees and the National League being so tight, that's why I chose 56. Yep, to Bob Uecker, who signed a contract with these Braves in 56. Again, it was supposed to be the Cubs and the Reds. And if you'll forgive me, we're not doing that. We will pick up one of their games over the weekend, I think, maybe Monday, because that stadium was all done. We gave you Wally Moon's numbers. Spahn starts off his effort with strike 3. A 2-2 fastball got him looking, 1 away. For Shane Dean's short time with the Cardinals in 56, 2 for 9 with an RBI on the season with a double. 314 overall, no homers, and 15 RBI. And Shane Deans draws the walk. So hopefully, Triple G, I answered that question for you. I know you started watching with 88, which that fall, that World Series, would have been my senior year of high school. And I picked that season because anyone could have won the American League East. And in one of those rare cases, the real-life team won. And had tried a couple times to get the Red Sox into the playoffs before, to no avail, but until last year. Stan Musial, 1 for 7 on the year with 2 RBI and 3 walks. In real life, Musial just got better as he aged. 310, 27 homers, and 109 RBI. He played, 62 or 63? Pitch to Musial. There's a fly ball to right. Back goes Aaron, and that will be off the wall. So Shane Deans paused for a second. He will hold up. So Musial has his first double. Shane Deans isn't necessarily slow, but it looked like he paused for a second. And Aaron has a strong arm. I got you by a couple years, okay? So what was your senior year? So I graduated in 89. Hank Sauer at 6 for 8, hitting 750. You gotta love April baseball, right? He has 6 RBI already. Only 24 and 151 at-bats. 90. Got you by 2 years. So win the Cardinals, 298, 5 homers, and 24 RBI. That was the end of my freshman year at Linden State College, where I discovered these games. So Shane Deans on third, Musial on second, 1 out. Spahn delivers, and Sauer strikes out. And 0-2 Bugs Bunny changeup got him swinging. 2 out for Boyer. Ken 3 for 9 to start the year with 2 RBI. Overall, 306, 26 homers, and 98 RBI. His brother, Cleet, would spend some time with the Yankees, and the Boyer boys played in 64 in the World Series. 64 is on the short list for another off-the-beaten-path replay. There is a line drive foul. Matthews can't get there. And somebody from St. Louis made that catch. So the count is 0-2. Boyer to third. Matthews waits for it, throws to first. Adcock is there, and Boyer is retired. And Shane Dienst is left at third. Oops. No runs are hit. The Cardinals leave on 2. After 1, no score. You know, I think as RJL sends his condolences for Bob Uecker, you got to be something talented as Eddie Matthews steps in, and he's had a great start to the year. He's 4 for 8 with 2 homers and 3 RBI. Overall, 272, 37 homers, and 95 RBI. You got to be a pretty good player to get to this level, even back then. Doesn't necessarily translate out into being super elite. Saw a picture yesterday of Joe Charbonneau with a single-A team with the Pirates in 1984. He had that great year in 1980, and then he flamed out. And so, you know, careers are fleeting. But yeah, I mean, I think that Uecker had a cottage industry into being the ideal crappy player. But you got to be good to get to that level. He retired a champion. Yeah, he was with the Cardinals in '64. They won a World Series against the Yankees. That was the year that Uecker was out there shagging fly balls in batting practice with a tuba. Pitch to Matthews. Got him. A 1-2 fastball got him chasing. Here's Adcock, 0 for 9 on the year. He has struck out 4 times. Andrew Dewar, a guy who was a catcher in the Cardinal system in the 50s, stuck behind McCarver and Uecker. And McCarver caught forever. There's a few years that McCarver was more than serviceable. But after a while, he was such a good brain behind the plate that he was Bob Gibson's personal catcher. He was Steve Carlton's personal catcher. Adcock in real life, 291, 38 home runs, and he drove in 103. Polhosky deals. There is a fly ball to left. Sauer will make the catch, and there's 2 out. For Wes Covington, 0 for 3 on the year, 2 walks and a strikeout. In real life, Covington in limited duty, 283, 2 homers and 16 RBI. Bob Uecker said, and this is true, RJL, that Sandy Koufax wouldn't have made the Hall of Fame after he had a home run off of him. Uecker, just an underrated performer. He did the Tonight Show 43 times. Pitch to Covington. Got him. Polhosky strikes out 2. An 0-2 fastball swung on and missed. So the Braves go in order after an inning and a half, no score. Yeah, Uecker was the perfect Carson guest because he knew how to tell stories. Midwest kid, or at least, you know, that's where he made his adult life. Bill Verdon, 0 for 8 on the year, a walk and a strikeout. Real life, 211, 2 homers, and 9 RBI. And, of course, he'll be better known from his time in Pittsburgh. Curveball, that is up the middle for a base hit. Verdon, a long turnaround, but he's going to hold right there. So the second hit for the Cardinals. Here's Bill Sarney. Bill 3 for 9 to start the year with a solo homer and a double. And real life, 291, 5 homers and 22 RBI. What Uecker had was timing. It is, as some of you know who may have started YouTube channels and found them to be a little bit frustrating, there is a gift of knowing how to talk and when to talk if you're going to emulate being a broadcaster. And I think, obviously, you learn some of that. And Uecker, in his 54 years with the Brewers, understood that it was a process that needed to be learned. But I think in Bob's case, there was a lot of natural talent. You know, anyone that's able to helm a sitcom for 6 years, and Mr. Belvedere was on for 6 years, and he was good at it. He wasn't great, but he was good. Pitch to Sarney is a ground ball to short, might be two. Logan to O'Connell for one, and Sarney's going to reach on the fielder's choice, one out. For Alex Gramus, who singled and scored in his only at-bat. On the replay, Sparky Anderson, wherever he is in 1956, is taking notes. Gramus, don't get used to seeing him in the lineup 3 for 12 with an RBI in real life. See what Spahn does with Sarney. I think Uecker was so typecast as a funny guy. Pitch to Gramus is a fly ball to right center. Bruton will go back and make the catch. That I don't think as a number one analyst outside of Milwaukee that anyone took him really seriously. I mean, he was Howard Cosell's foil for a couple years on Monday Night Baseball. Polhosky in real life with 2 outs, got a swing here. 159, no homers, and 3 RBI. But when the Baseball Network came to be in the 90s, he was matched with Bob Costas and Joe Morgan on the NBC side of that crew. And everyone kind of expected Uecker to be the Joe Garagiola, Harry Doyle, Mr. Character. And it was Morgan, who I personally found to be insufferable as an analyst, that became the number one guy, and instead of Uecker, who just knew so much about baseball. Pitch to Polhosky. There's a fly ball to center. Bruton coming in a bit will make the catch, and that will do. Cardinals do not score. No runs, a hit, no errors. We go to the third, no score. So Crandall, O'Connell, and Spahn to face Polhosky here in the third. Dell 3 for 8 with 2 solo homers in the early going. I believe they played. No, they didn't play the Phillies because Brooklyn played the Phillies. Crandall had a double. He's hitting .375 in real life. 238, 16 homers, and 48 RBI. Uecker hit 14 career homers off of 13 pitchers. 3 of them Hall of Famers. Gaylord Perry, Sandy Koufax, and Ferguson Jenkins. The only pitcher he took deep twice was former Met Ray Sadecki. Go Braves! I hope you bought some protection, Sean, for Maury Wills for breaking up that no-hitter with a bunt single. Pitch to Crandall. There is a base hit up the middle. So Crandall reaches second hit. Here's O'Connell for the Braves. Here's O'Connell, 1 for 7. That's 143, a run scored and a walk. 239 overall, 2 homers, and 42 RBI. Congrats on that, by the way. That was awesome, Sean. I don't know what Uecker did after his playing days were over. Before 71 was his first year in the booth with the Brewers, and it was actually a phone call from Bud Selig that set that up. Uecker with the Brewers was gold. Of course, towards the end, I mean, he still had most of his fastball with him in his late 80s. He was a good meat and potatoes announcer and just had enough to pace a game. Pitch to O'Connell. There is a ground ball to Boyer. Ken waits for it. Might be 2 here. Nope. Goes across to Moon. O'Connell's running. And he is out. So they got him 1 out. Crandall moves to second for Warren Spahn, hitting .210, 3 homers, and 10 RBI. Because it was the Midwest and because Uecker was a personality, he could root for the Brewers and not be obnoxious about it. So no one was ever going to confuse him with Ken Harrelson or something like that. You can be outlandish and all that. But I always think that Uecker was fair. We play for the bunt. Pitch to Spahn. Crandall on second. Fly ball to right. Musial. And that is gone. I kept waiting for Stan to go back. Spahn hit that one out of here. How about that? The wind is only at 4 from left to right. Spahn hit 3 homers in real life. I wasn't even thinking that. So Warren Spahn puts one in those seats to right, and all Musial could do is tip his cap, turn, and watch it go. So 2-0 Milwaukee, one out here in the third. You got all that power, Aaron Matthews and Adcock, and it's Warren Spahn who gets the job done. Yeah, nice indeed. Here's Billy Bruton. Opening 9 for Polhosky. 31 pitches, 2 1/3, 3 hits, the home run to Warren Spahn. DH, we don't need no stinking DH. Polhosky has struck out 3. Bruton singled his first time up. Where is Mr. Rockwood today? I got everyone's name I can pronounce playing today. I'm delighted. That's not meant to be a slight towards Matt. I'm grateful when I get corrected with that stuff because you want it to be right. But I know how to pronounce all this stuff. Pitch to Bruton. That is into right. Musial will play that on a hop. And Polhosky just kind of feels like a lonely man there on the mound right now. Here's Johnny Logan. Johnny's 0 for 1. That is up the middle. Shane Deans to Grammas for 1. Moon for 2. So a 4-6-3 double play. And that will take care of business. However, the 2-run homer from Warren Spahn does the job. 2 runs on 3 hits and no errors. We go to the bottom of the third here in St. Louis. Milwaukee 2, St. Louis nothing. So leading off for St. Louis, Wally Moon with Shane Deans to Musial to follow. Spahn opening 9, 36 pitches, 2 innings, 2 hits, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. You were looking for pronunciation for Paul. See, I look at it as Poe Hall. It could be Polhosky. So it's either Polhosky or Polhowski. Now, Matt will come in and tell me it's Polhosky, but that's, one of those broadcasters' tricks. Once you start to know how names should look, you kind of figure it out. So we'll go with Polhosky until I am told differently. And if I'm really clueless, Sean, I just go with the first name. The Unibrow struck out his first time up. That is a fly ball to right. That will drop in front of Aaron, and that is a single. So the third hit for St. Louis. Here's Shane Deans. He walked his first time up. Ow, ground ball to first. Adcock steps on the bag himself, and Moon will go to second as I literally bite my tongue. Here's Stan Musial. Stan doubled his first time up. Ow, and now I just cracked my wrist. I am a hurting mess today. 67 degrees. Yeah. Here in St. Louis. Day game on no, it's a night game. The first night game we've had on this April 20th, 1956, of Friday night. Popped up left side, and that's going to go out of play. Matthews just kind of turns and watches it, and somebody got a souvenir. So 0-2 the count. That is popped up right side. O'Connell into foul territory. He will reach over and make the catch, and that will be an out. So 2 out for Hank Sauer, who struck out his first time up. That's a ground ball to second. O'Connell has it over to Adcock for the out, and that will retire the side. Cardinals get a hit, no runs, no errors. We go to the fourth. Milwaukee 2. St. Louis nothing. So Aaron, Matthews, and Adcock to face Bohosky here in the fourth. The Cardinals, that uniform, and again, it gets squished, so it doesn't look as good as it would if you saw it there. Only year they wore it, it screams 50s. It looks terrible. They are wearing the blue hats with the red interlocked S, T, and L, framed in white. The Braves in their road grays. Braves in that familiar font with the tomahawk beneath it, with a blue cap, red bill, and a white M for Milwaukee. Aaron struck out his first time up, but you guys think the Braves are going to win. Aaron hits this one past Grammas into left field for a single. Don't go to second. That's the fifth hit for Milwaukee, and here's Eddie Matthews, who struck out his first time up. Bohosky deals. That is into center. Verdon rides the Schwinn, coming in, makes the catch. So I will try to find a better picture of Sportsman's Park. It's a little more 50s than this. I don't think there are light towers in this picture. It's a good shot. Joe Adcock 0 for 1. There is a shot past Grammas into left. Sauer will pick it up. Aaron, a wide turn. Sauer with an out below average arm throws to Boyer, and Aaron's into third with the slide. So one out. Runners on the corners for Covington, who struck out his first time up. I want you to notice, after we hit pitch for the next one, you see where the batter's box should be and where those lines come out from home plate. If you kind of look where you see, if you're watching, where Wes Covington's name is on the left side there with his stat box, you're going to see a circle. And about 60 feet away, you're going to see another line. That's where pitchers warmed up pre-game. That was all marked off. Pitch to Covington is a walk, or as we would say today, just a bit outside. On 4 pitches. So first, a base is loaded now for Crandall. Dell signaled and scored his first time up. So Aaron on third, Adcock on second, Covington on first. Milwaukee already up 2-0. They got 2 in the third on the Spahn homer, and Crandall trying to break it open right now. Bohosky deals, and that is to short. Grammas can't make a play, and everybody's safe. So it's 3-0 Milwaukee. Here's Danny O'Connell, who's 0 for 1. Bohosky isn't happy about that. So a 1-2 ground ball that Alex Grammas fumbled. Pitch to O'Connell is into right center, and that's going to drop. Adcock scores. Covington will hold at third, and the Braves are up 4-0. Yep. And that's why Alex Grammas became a coach, Sean. As you know, he was with Sparky Anderson for 1,000 years. Did all that time in Detroit. So Warren Spahn, his real-life numbers, 210, 3 homers, and 10 RBI. Think we might double switch it before this one's over? So Bohosky not having himself a good night here. Delivers, and Spahn strikes out. He got him to chase an 0-2 fastball. How you doing, Gus? Gus the dog has thawed himself out from all the cold weather in Saranac Lake, shoveled some snow, and finally got to the keyboard. Tom, 18 batters deep, 62 pitches, 3 2/3, 7 hits, the home run to Warren Spahn, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. Billy Bruton has singled twice. He's 2 for 2. So 2 out in a 4-0 game here. Covington on third, Crandall on second, and O'Connell on first. Barely. It's been cold here. I would have had the chance to go out myself today. The snow had stopped and the sidewalks were good, and the wife and I were looking forward to going to go sit someplace, and woke up and the wind chill in town is 9. It's like, nope, we're staying home. Saturday, hoping to do it Saturday. Tomorrow for lunch. There is a ground ball to Moon. Wally underhands it to first, and that will retire the side. However, 2 more runs on 3 hits in the error by Gramus. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Milwaukee 4, St. Louis nothing. And so, for our love of April baseball, take a look at the American League standings. You know who's in first place? Oh, yeah, it's going to get frigid for us, Paul. Absolutely frigid. The Washington Senators are in first place. Not only are they in first place at 3-0, they swept U.S. Steel. They swept the Yankees, who are 0-3. Between Washington and Boston and Baltimore and New York, Chicago, Kansas City, Detroit, and Cleveland, all at 1-1. In the National League, Milwaukee, St. Louis, and Brooklyn all opened up 2-0, 2-0. The Giants took 2 out of 3 against Pittsburgh, and then the Reds, the Phillies, and the Cubs are all 0-2. So there's a look at all the stats and stories for you 3 days in to this 56th season. But, yep, the Washington Senators, at least for today, first in war, first in peace, and first in the American League. It'll be Boyer, Verdon, and Sarney here in the 4th. Ken is 0-1. Struck him out. That's 3 for Spahn. And 0-2 fastball got him. Here's Verdon. Bill singled his first time up. That is a ground ball to Johnny Logan, who will grab it and throw it to Adcock. And Verdon's running, and Bill is out on a bang-banger. I was going to get a drink there. 2 out for Bill Sarney, who is 0-1. Second verse to Logan looks to be the same as the first. And that'll do. Cardinals go in order in the 4th. No runs, no hits, no errors after 4. 4-0 Milwaukee. There. So it'll be Logan, Aaron, and Matthews here in the 5th. That's a lot of foul territory. Again, a lot of these pictures, I'm not sure what kind of lenses they were shot with. Obviously, the walls and the grass have been colorized, and whoever did this did a good job. Yeah, I guess that is. Remember, if you look up on the left field line, the bullpens are there. Yeah. Monday and Tuesday are going to be freezer box days and here, too, along with Northeast Ohio. Monday, a high of 9, low of -2 in Cleveland. And Tuesday, a high of 4 and a low of -2. It makes you wish that they were playing a football game there. Bring the Chargers back. Pitch to Logan. There's a base hit left center. Verdon will not let that get past him. He will pick it up off a hop. He thought about it. But Logan has decent speed. Here's Aaron. Henry 1 for 2 with a run scored. They're talking wind chills here, Sean, Tuesday morning of 15 below. And in Montreal, they're talking 30 below. That is popped up. Right side, Moon. 1 out. And ouch to both. That is cold. We kid our southern friends when it gets in the 40s and 30s. Send your weather back. We don't want it. And we go, yeah, we would take 40 this time of year, but nope, that's just too cold. Eddie Matthews is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. And that is a ground ball to Moon. Wally straddles the line, goes to the bag, throws to Grammas, and do they turn it? They do not. So attempt there, that's new this year. So Moon trying to turn 2. It's a 3U on the fielder's choice. So 2 out for Adcock, who has singled and scored. Polhosky deals. That is a liner to left that will drop in front of Sauer. Logan around third. The throw home is going to be up the line, and it's 5-0 Milwaukee. So Polhosky, his first start of 56 isn't going to be all that memorable. And Gus says, I would so enjoy 50 degrees in Florida at this point. 7 below Monday, where Triple G is. I believe he's in the Minneapolis area. With a minus 33 wind chill. Might be cold enough that they'll might even let Sam Darnold back inside in Minneapolis with that. 2 out for Covington, who has walked and struck out. He's 0 for 1. Pitch to Covington. And Adcock will take second on the wild pitch. Southwest Minnesota. So even they might let Sam Darnold in if he was outside. Pitch got away from Sarney and rolled all the way to the backstop. So a 1-ball count. Adcock in scoring position. Got him. That's 5. Halfway home on a 27-degree day in Burlington. Downright balmy compared to this. It is the Braves 5. The Cardinals nothing. And there we go. So I didn't have enough time to chew that cracker. You joined us late. Our tribute to Bob Uecker just happens to be in the 56 replay that the Braves and the Cardinals were playing on the opening weekend of the season. Both teams are 2-0 coming in. Milwaukee, 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors. St. Louis, no runs, 3 hits, and an error. In the third, Warren Spahn hit a 2-run homer to make it 2-0 Milwaukee. In the fourth, they sent 8 to the plate, got 2 more. Del Crandall, a fielder's choice, to make it 3-0. And then Danny O'Connell to make it 4-0 on an RBI single that scored Joe Adcock. And in the fifth, Adcock with an RBI single to score Johnny Logan. And it's 5-0. Warren Spahn, a 3-hitter through 4. He's walked 1 and struck out 3. Tom Polhosky, his day's going to be done. 9 hits over 5. 5 runs, 4 earned. The home run to Warren Spahn, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. Alex Grammas is 0 for 1. Some drunk in the crowd goes, "Come on, do the unthinkable. Hit a home run. Make up for that poor play in the field, you moron." Grammas isn't going to homer. 0 for 1 today. He didn't in his 3 hits in real life. I was hoping you'd find that funny, Sean. They were all singles. And so what do you do with that kind of pressure? You strike out. Grammas chases a 2-2 fastball for strike 3. Grammas is going to call Maury Wills now and find out who Maury hired as a security guard for his next trip to San Francisco. Was that Grandpa Simpson? Yeah, I mean, come on, Alex, do the unthinkable. Hit a home run. Gotta make up for that poor play in the field, you bum. Oh, you struck out. I could have hit that. So here we go. Oh, my goodness. Ducky Schofield is the other shortstop. I don't think we're going to pinch hit him. Let's see. Who we got? Who can hit a lefty? It'll be Rip Rapolsky will be the pinch hitter. Rip, first appearance of the year, 277, 11 homers, and 55 RBI. So one out here in the fifth, 5-0. Spondylls, that is in the left. Covington will have that bounce in front of him, and that's a pinch hit single. We joke about being the drunk fan, as Wally Moon is up. Wally 1 for 2. He has singled and struck out. Opening 18 for Sponny, 59 pitches, 4 1/3. 4 hits, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. Now, you got Milwaukee versus St. Louis here, in a National League game in the 50s. When we do a game from Milwaukee, I have got to find one of the pictures I have with the Miller High Life scoreboard in right field, because Milwaukee is the home of Miller Beer, and St. Louis, of course, being the home for Budweiser. And so when August Busch bought the Cardinals, he wanted to rename the ballpark, Sportsman's Park, Budweiser Stadium. But in one of those, it was a different time sort of deals, it was not allowed. A corporate name and an alcoholic name corporate name was not really allowed. So Busch renamed the stadium after himself, and then started to sell Busch Bavarian beer. And so, in a roundabout way, he got kind of like the Wrigley's around the corporate naming structure. Just named the beer after himself. Pitch to Wally Moon is into left center. Logan goes out. Bruton comes in. Bill will make the catch, and Rapolsky goes back to first. Yep. Red Schoendienst is 0 for 1 with a walk. Outside of the Wrigley's, I believe the first purpose-named ballpark outside of this that was a corporate sponsor was Schaefer in Foxborough. And then Rich Foods in Buffalo. So Schaefer Stadium in Foxborough and Rich Stadium in Buffalo for the Bills. Pitch to Schoendienst. There's a ground ball to O'Connell. It'll go to Adcock to get Schoendienst. And because I lost track, that's the out. And that's the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. After 5, Braves 5, Cardinals nothing. So we're not going to pull Sauer. It'll be Ellis. Nope. Will it be? It'll be Willard Schmidt, right? No, because you start tomorrow's starter. Larry Jackson gets the call. And we'll make a double switch. So Rapolsky will play left field in the 9 spot. He is a 6 and a 2 out there. And Larry Jackson will make his second appearance of the year. 25 years old, fastball at 90, and a ground ball plus pitcher. Got an inning in against the Redlegs in a 3-2 win. He picked up a save, which didn't exist. 1 inning, 23 pitches, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. As he faces Crandall, O'Connell, and Spahn here in the 6th. Larry, in real life, 2-2, 9 saves. A 4.11 ERA, 85 in the 3rd inning, 75 hits, 5 homers allowed. He walked 41 and struck out 51. Pitch to Crandall, 1 for 2. Dell, high ground ball past Schoendienst for a single. How rude. That's the 10th hit for Milwaukee. Here's O'Connell, who has an RBI single, 1 for 2. Milwaukee 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, and a 5-0 game. And O'Connell just a bit outside. So Larry Jackson obviously was the right choice to come in if you're a Braves fan. So Crandall on second, O'Connell on first, and here's Spahn, who is 1 for 2, but now is struck out and homered. And now Homer came in the third. He drops one down, throws to Shandies from Sarney, and Spahn is retired. I'm surprised the computer was bunting with a 5-run lead. It worked. So Crandall on third, O'Connell on second for Bill Bruton, who is 2 for 3. Bill is singled twice. Jackson deals, and that's a ground ball to Shandies. They'll take the sure out at first, and Bruton is retired. So Milwaukee makes it 6-0. For Johnny Logan, 1 for 3. He has singled, scored, and grounded into a double play. O'Connell on third, and so Milwaukee making mincemeat here out of the Cardinals. Here in the sixth. Struck him out. That'll do. And 1 run, 1 hit, no errors. After 5.5 here at Sportsman's Park, or Busch, Milwaukee 6, St. Louis nothing. So what an idiot. I really paid no attention to that. So I double switched it. See, old Uncle Ron made the mistake. I double switched, and I put the long man into bat second in the inning. Isn't that great? Idiot. Musial has doubled. He's 1 for 2. The computer has no respect for the unwritten rules of the game. Somewhere, who was the catcher for the Braves that tried to beat someone up for that? It was I can't think of it. It wasn't Perinsky. Oh, Ron. Oh, Ron. Pitch to Musial. That's up the middle. Now I got to pinch hit for him because Musial has a single. That reliever really wanted that bat. Well, you know what? We're down 6-0. We're gonna bunt him. Larry drops one down, and of course, in my own logic, that will roll foul, and the count is 0-2. Wasn't Lopez, and it wasn't Brian McCann. I forgot what the play, one of those, I don't know if someone bat flipped or something along that line. One of those, spawned 1,000 online slideshows for unwritten rules of baseball. That calf? Oop, no. It was Brian McCann. And so an 0-2 count. Now Jackson has to swing here. And he strikes out. Spahn tips his hat. Here's Boyer. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. That is into right for a base hit. So a bad play by Adcock. Musial will hold at second. 1 out. Runners on first and second for Bill Burton with a V, who was 1 for 2. He is singled. Not to give Sean any more grief, but can you imagine the outrage today? Someone with a bunt single break up a no-hitter in the ninth? Sean, you got huevos, my friend. That was awesome. But yeah, it was Brian McCann. You just looked that up? Okay. Carlos Gomez stared a home run down or talked trash around the bases. And in a word that is completely underused, I'll do this as Vinny. Carlos Gomez stared a home run down and then talked some smack after hitting it. As he went around the bases, and Brian McCann, God bless him, in trying to restore order for one of those unwritten rules of baseball, took umbrage. at young Mr. Gomez's offense and gave him a knuckle sandwich with a piece of Wilson glove. And Ben Davis did that not long ago, bunting for a base hit. I remember that. And again, it would have been so many slideshows from some harried writers who were completely underpaid. So you'll sit there and read through the slideshow. Not that I have any experience in that in any way, shape, or form in all the years that I wrote for Bleacher Report and Fansided. Anywho, Bill Verdon is 1 for 2. First and second, 1 out here in the 6th. Crandall and Spawn have a word. We're taking a long time today. Verdon, ground ball to O'Connell, might be 2. Logan for 1. And there's no throw to first. Verdon's going to reach. So 2 out for Bill Sarney. The Arizona. Yep. Reading about that one in a mile against. Yeah, it happens. Bill Sarney 0 for 2 today. You can't get mad in an online in an online game. Pitch to Sarney. There's a fly ball to right. Back goes Aaron, and Aaron will make the catch. We're through 6. No runs. Why did that stop? 2 hits and no errors. After 6. Why did we stop? Oh. Okay, hold on. YouTube's having some moments today. Brought me right to the open, which we didn't want to do. After 6, it is Milwaukee 6, St. Louis nothing. It'll be Aaron Matthews and Hancock to face Jackson here in the 7th. Hank 1 for 3 with a run scored. And Aaron just a bit outside. Oh, it was a 1-run game. I mean, there are times when you got to do it. I mean, you play to win the game. Eddie Matthews is 0 for 3 as Aaron watched ball 4 go down and away on the full count. Eddie struck out. He's 0 for 3. Pitch to Matthews. Got him. Jackson got him on a 1-2. Mr. Rockwood's going to send me some hate mail after this one. Joe Adcock is 2 for 3 today. Has singled twice and drove in 1 of the Milwaukee 6 runs. Got him. 2 out. An 0-2 fastball chase, and now bring up Covington, who's 0 for 2. A walk and 2 strikeouts. Brandon Belt did that to a pitcher and the team because they had an extreme shift on him. Yep. You're welcome, Herman Edwards. You know what? As I did that, all I could think of in my head was Katharine Hepburn. You play to win the game. Do I need to go back to impression school after that? 2 out, pitch to Covington. That's up the middle, past Shane Dienst into center field. And Aaron is going to run for third. Verdon on a wing and a prayer will throw it. And there is 2 out. Shane Dienst couldn't make the play, so Aaron on third, Covington on first for Del Crandall, who was 2 for 3. He has singled twice, scored twice, and driven in a run. Sean says, yep. Maybe Herm was channeling his inner Kathy at that moment in time. Spencer always said, you play to win the game. Crandall, ground ball to the mound. Jackson has to wait for it. Third base side, and he can't make a play. How about that? Aaron's going to score. It's 7-0 Milwaukee. And here comes Danny O'Connell. I don't think anyone ever called Miss Hepburn Kathy before. O'Connell 1 for 2. A walk and an RBI. So Milwaukee has broken this open. There is a ground ball again to Jackson. This time third base side. He throws to Wally Moon, and it's stretch time. 6.5, 7-0 Milwaukee. Want to give a special thank you out to David Cathy. I hope I'm pronouncing that last name right. He is my newest Patreon. Thank you so much. And for all you guys who help keep this and Digital Lights going, a hearty thank you for that. Alex Grammas is 0 for 2 today with a strikeout. There are a couple ushers standing by someone by the name of Abraham Simpson on the third base side. Abe kind of a little bit upset with Grammas's play today, and he's enjoyed a couple of those more of those Busch Bavarians as Milwaukee's lead has turned into a touchdown. Packers 7, Cardinals nothing. Spahn starts the inning. That is a ground ball to first. Adcock has it, 1 away. For Rapolsky, who singled his first time up. Spahn deals. That is in the left, and that will drop for a hit. So Rapolsky was the right move, but Uncle Ron did it at the wrong time. Wally Moon is 1 for 3. The unibrow has singled and struck out. Warren Spahn, 27 batters deep, 92 pitches, 6 1/3. 7 hits, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. Spahn deals, and there's a pop-up left side. Logan, with the wind blowing out to left, has to go chase it and will make the grab, 2 out. Before we get too much further, because this game is pretty much over, Shane Dean stole for 2 with a walk. A final thought from me on Bob Uecker. You know, one of the things that our generation has had the chance to enjoy, pitch to Shane Dienst, is a ground ball again to Logan. Johnny goes to first. Shane Dean's huffing and puffing, but Adcock is there to retire the side. No runs, a hit. The Cardinals have left on 8, and after 7, it's Milwaukee 7, St. Louis nothing. Our generation grew up with whatever your favorite team is, with baseball being a pastoral sport and played over a 6-month period and being a daily part of lives, especially when you're growing up, whether it was Ernie Harwell or a Vin Scully or even a Bob Uecker, that they become part of the soundtrack of your lives along with whatever your favorite bands was it Rush or the Beatles or George Strait or what have you, and they bring you back to a good time in your life. Or if you didn't have a lot of good times in your life, Warren Spahn, by the way, homered in the third, 1 for 2 with 2 RBI and that home run. They never judged you. They were part of your lives. They were, if you didn't have a favorite uncle, they became your favorite uncle. They were appointment theater for whatever it was. And for that period of time when they were talking about something you loved or pushing whatever the beer was or the sodas or your local Ford dealer or what have you, you felt good about yourself and you had the chance to enjoy it. Now, all these games are on the radio, and there are some very good people who do local broadcasts who do a good job in capitalizing on that for today's audiences. But Uecker, because he had been in there in the 70s and was such a constant for Milwaukee for all those, 53 years with the Brewers, that I think is kind of the greatest loss from that. It is a loss of an uncle, someone that you spent time with as maybe a young child before you realized what you liked about sports, or as a teenager when you were looking for that break if you were having a bad day, or even as an adult coming home from work or whatever, and you put the car radio on, and in Uke's case, WTMJ, and always was there, unfailing, and even optimistic, realistic about whatever your team was doing. And that's a generation of broadcasters that Uecker symbolized. And I think, and again, good character actor, good on TV, a funny man, depreciating, but underrated for his skills as a broadcaster. Sports Time Machine give me a hard time about something. And David's here. You don't need to retract the message. I hope I pronounced your name right. So I'll get off the soapbox now. Pitch to Spahn. There is a ground ball to Gramus, who makes the play. And somewhere Abe Simpson turns and shows a finger to an usher or two. What decision, Mike, did I make that was bad? Amongst others? Here's Bruton. Bill is 2 for 4 today. He has 2 singles and an RBI. Pitch to Bruton. Ball 4. Just a bit outside. Here's Johnny Logan. Johnny 1 for 4 today. He has grounded into a double play. Struck out. Oh, I did. Okay. No, my good pinch hitting decision. It wasn't, though, because I did the double switch and had Jackson right up. I mean, Rapolsky was the right decision, but it never, yeah. I'm glad. Thanks, David, NSRL fan. Thank you for the Patreon. I do appreciate it. 7-0 Braves here in the 8th. Pitch to Logan, and that is into left center field. Rapolsky will pick it up. Bruton goes to third. Gramus will pick it up, and his runners on the corners, 1 out for Aaron. Henry 1 for 3. He has singled, walked, and scored twice. Yep, got it. And as always, thanks for the kind words. Pitch, and Sarney and Jackson have a word. Larry due up second in the 8th. Aaron hits a ground ball to Boyer. Ken goes to Shane Deans for 1, but Aaron's going to reach. And so it's a 5-4 fielder's choice. 2 out for Eddie Matthews, who is 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Got him. So Jackson's day will be done. The Braves do not score. Matthews strikes out for the 3rd time today. How about that? No runs, a hit, no errors. 7.5 in the books. Braves 7, Cardinals nothing. So Musial, pinch hitter, and Boyer to face Spahn here in the 8th. David says that Aaron was his favorite player. He was in Fulton County at 11 years old when he broke Babe Ruth's record. That is my earliest baseball memory. I was 2.5, April 8th, 1974. Watching that and then getting put to bed, because what 2-year-old is still up at 9:30 at night? Musial has singled and doubled. He's 2 for 3. That is into center field. Burton makes the catch. Had him played right there. So Jackson will come out. And who can hit the lefty? Well, apparently not many people. We'll go with... Jackie Brandt. Jackie looked like a baby he is. He's 22 years old. In limited duty, 286, a homer, and 3 RBI. I thought about putting the other catcher in, but I didn't want to make the mistake of having that spot come open again right away. Pitch to Brandt. There is a liner to right that will drop in front of Aaron for a base hit. Well, at least my pinch hitting decisions are right. Ken Boyer 1 for 3. He has singled and struck out. People are going to look at this and go, you must have had a heck of a game. 7-0 Milwaukee with 1 out in the 8th. Boyer, ground ball, third base side. Spahn goes to first for Adcock, and Ken is retired. So Brandt moves on to second, 2 out for Bill Verdon. Bill 1 for 3 today with a single. 7 runs, 12 hits, no errors for Milwaukee, and they have left on 9. No runs, 8 hits, 2 errors for St. Louis, and they have left on 8. Pitch to Verdon. That is a ground ball to Logan. Johnny can't make the play. And Gramus looks out on the crowd on the third base sign, just sticks his tongue out. And sitting next to Abe Simpson is some guy by the name of Costanza. And Costanza stands up and says, "You want a piece of me? You want a piece of me?" No. Selapsky Smurf says, "Go Jays." Not in 1956. They were the Maple Leafs, right? Pitch to Sarney, and that is line foul, third base side. And Simpson and Costanza fight for the ball. And it's a 1-2 count. Sarney into right center, and that's going to get on the board for St. Louis. Brandt will score. Verdon's on to third. O'Connell did not make a good leap, and it's now a 7-1 game. So here's Gramus, who kind of has to hit at this point. Gramus 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Trying to ignore the hecklers down the third baseline. Spahn deals into left center. Bruton will come in, rides a Schwinn, makes the catch, and that'll do. However, the Cardinals at least get on. A run on 2 hits in an hour. And after 8, it's Milwaukee 7, St. Louis 1. And so now we'll go with the old veteran Ellis Kinder. Kinder, named old folks, is 42. I guess that's appropriate. He throws what you would call a fastball at 81. 2-0 in real life, 22 games, 6 saves, a 3.42 ERA, 26 in the third innings, 23 hits, 11 runs, 10 earned. He gave up 3 homers. He walked 8, 3 intentionally, and struck out 4. Adcock 2 for 4 today. He has singled twice, scored, struck out. He struck out 5 times in 13 at-bats already, and drove home a run. Demos enjoyed the podcast. We had fun doing it. We really did have fun doing it. Tebow's always a good guest. They're still a Maple Leaf baseball team. They were in a National League, which kind of makes sense, along with the Montreal Royals. They played at Maple Leaf Stadium, which I don't think made it into the 70s. Did the AAA team actually play at Exhibition? I mean, that place was never designed for baseball. Demos is in rare form today. If he grows vegetables, would he have a kindergarten? You know, I should start reading those as Bullwinkle. Pitch to Adcock. Joe hits a ground ball to third. Boyer has it, throws to Moon. Adcock a running, and Joe, that's an error, and Adcock's going to reach. So Boyer throws it away. And Adcock stays at first. The throw pulled Moon off the bag. Third error for the Cardinals. Here's Covington. West 1 for 3. He has singled, walked, and struck out twice. That's into center. Verdon goes back, makes the catch, and Adcock goes back to first. And they played at the stadium in a public park. I'll have to look that up. That is bizarre. Del Crandall 2 for 4. Has singled twice and driven in a run and scored twice. The Expos played at the Royals played at Delormier Downs for the longest time and then moved into a place called the Autostad, which looked like an erector set. And when the Expos came to town, they went out and played at Jerry Park, which was magically transformed to pretty much the same thing, a recreational park, into a major league stadium. And that was the first park with a pool, beating Arizona by a good 30 years. Pitch to Crandall is a pop-up left side. Rapolsky coming in, Gramus going out. Rip makes the catch for the out. Yep, Triple G. I have the same problem that a lot of people do. My wife says this too, that my brain is full of absolutely worthless information, which gets stuffed into YouTube streams at the most inopportune times, mixed in with Katharine Hepburn impressions and me singing. Danny O'Connell is 1 for 3 today. Danny has singled, walked, and driven in a run. Popped up left side, and Costanza's not looking. Is that going to hit him on the head? I got him on the back. And the 9 people who are still left here are cheering. So a 2-strike count, 2 out. Is it your fault you can still rattle off the 87 Twins starting lineup? No. Can you remember what you had for breakfast this morning? No. 0-2 the count. O'Connell into left field. Rapolsky should grab it. He does. And that'll do. Milwaukee, no runs, no hits in error. They left on 10 overall, but when you're ahead 7-1, you're fine. So Rapolsky, Moon, and Schoendienst to face Spani in the 9th. Rip is single twice. So the Cardinals 6 to tie, 7 to win. It's not intentional, David, with the Scully stuff. I'll watch my stuff every once in a while. And again, I'm from New England. I was born in Glens Falls, New York. But I've lived in Vermont for 50 of my 53 years. And so I'll sit here and be watching this stuff, and I hear Scully's Brooklyn accent, what with walk and all that. It's not intentional. I'm not trying to do a Scully. Yeah, no, they're not trying to get out demos. You put them out. Yep, you forgot to buy milk at the store. See, that's why I do Instacart. It's all there. And Zalapsky Smurf says the 87 Twins lineup is not worthless. Nope. Just ask any Tiger fan. Sports Time Machine misses the Aunt Becky references. Those were fun. Rapolsky is 2 for 2. Got him. So Spawn has struck out 6. We're with you Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday next week. You know, they're still working on the fire alarm system here. Was a guy today, Wally Moon, by the way, 1 for 4 with the strikeout. We'll get to what that guy was doing in a moment. Spani 4 times through the lineup, won 119 pitches, 8 1/3, 9 hits, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. They took out the old equipment a while ago. And so there's holes in the walls in the hallway where the old sounders and detectors were. And so today, they were caulking up the old holes. We'll see what project they have for next summer that will push this project into next December. Pitch to Moon. That is between the hole and right, and that is a base hit. So 1 out and 1 out for Schoendienst, who's 0 for 3 with a walk. Triple G says, I told her it's not all worthless. I once won a Subway sandwich on a radio call and a trivia question asking who was the Minnesota Twins single-game RBI record holder. Did you share it with her? I hope you shared it with her. I can't believe that your knowledge of Kent Herbeck got you a sandwich. I bet it was Earl Batty or something like that, right? Here's Schoendienst. Red is 0 for 3 with a walk. And there's a ground ball to Adcock. Joe to Logan for 1. And Schoendienst is going to reach on the fielder's choice. 3-6. Reference in the podcast, I think any new game you want to test out, you could use the 2017 Nationals to see how that game engine handles the bullpen. Why do you hate me, Dave? Why do you hate me? That's true, though. And I think if you pick that season, they should get you a gift certificate to your local liquor store because you're going to need it. Glenn Adams. Oh, is that the back of a Topps baseball card? See, I wouldn't have gotten that in a million years. 77 or 78? Stan Musial is 2 for 4. Last chance saloon here for the Cardinals. He has singled and doubled. Spahn deals, and that is into right field. Back goes Aaron, and that will be the ball game. So, hopefully, Bob Uecker, you would have enjoyed this. Milwaukee wins this one by the score of 7-1. So 2.5 fake hours. Chris James and Lonnie Chisenhall with 9 RBI in a game is Cleveland's record, both on the road. James versus the A's, Chisenhall versus the Rangers. The record for the Nationals I covered. It was Anthony Rendon, 10 RBIs, a late April game against the Mets in D.C. So 2 hours and 30 minutes. The Braves go to 3-0. They are tied for first place with 7 runs, 12 hits, and error, and they left on 10. The Cardinals, a run on 10 hits, and they had 3 errors. They left on 11. Warren Spahn, a 2-run homer in the third, a complete game, a 10-hitter, is your digitalized player of the game. 1 run unearned. He walked 1 and struck out 6. Polhosky, 5 innings, 9 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned, a home run, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. Then Larry Jackson, 3 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. And Ellis Kindergarten went 1 inning and threw 12 pitches. He faced 4 batters. No, the plus stuff. No, that Milwaukee lineup's pretty good, Sean. So you guys are more than welcome. Yeah, and attendance. Now that would be cool, wouldn't it? So Milwaukee in first by themselves for the moment. The rest of this Friday in baseball, this April 20th, 1956, the Orioles, who were destroyed in Boston, beat the Nationals, or the Senators, 12-2. Baltimore pounds out 16 hits. Jim Wilson, 8 innings, 4 hits, 10 strikeouts, picked up a win, his first, and he walked a batter. Brodowski with the loss. Tito Francona, 3 for 5, 3 RBI, and 2 triples. The Indians beat the Tigers by the score of 6-2. Early Wynn picks up his first win of the year. Ned Garver falls to 0-1. Busby, I think Jim in it, 3 for 3, a home run, and 2 RBI. Pittsburgh beats Brooklyn 3-2 at Forbes Field. Waters 1-0. Sears and Roebuck falls to 0-1. Ed was a pretty good pitcher, as a matter of fact. Dale Long, 3 for 5 with a double. Yankees beat the Red Sox 7-2. Whitey Ford gets his first win of the year. Nixon falls to 0-1. Yogi Berra hits his first, 2 for 4 with 4 RBI. Cubs, in a game that we were going to show, beat the Reds 5-3. Jones 1-0. Fowler 0-1. Frank Robinson. Oh, that would have been too bad because those would have been his first home runs. Hits 2, drives in 3, goes 2 for 4. Giants beat the Phillies 8-3. Hearn gets a win 1-0. Waymeyer gets the loss 0-1. Darrell Spencer 2 for 5, hits his first of the year and drives in 3. Lou Kretlow, 7 good innings for the A's, 2 hits and 2 earned runs. Kansas City wins in 10, 4-3 over the White Sox. Harrington 1-0, Martin 0-1. Minnie Minoso, a home run, 1 for 4, and drives in 2. The Blue Jays are 19 years away from their first score. All right, so here's what we got for you next week. Monday, we got Brooklyn-Pittsburgh. Lehman versus Friend. On Wednesday, we got Brooklyn versus the Giants. Erskine versus Hearn. And a week from today, we got supposedly Chicago-Cincinnati. So that's a tentative schedule for next week. Roebuck was quite the craftsman. Yes, he was. Lifetime guarantee on that pun. All right, that'll do it. Hopefully we did some justice for Bob Uecker, who would love that. All right, thank you so much. We'll talk to you Monday for more 1956 baseball. Our final score here, it was the Braves 7, the Cardinals 1. Have a good weekend, everybody. So long. Stay warm.